Good morning. It's Tuesday, October 26, 2021. My name is Terry Morgan, and we're here to practice Yang Style Taiji. Alright, now, I am saying this because I have to. Yesterday, we should have been practicing Yang Style Taiji. If I'd been in class and there'd been people in the room, somebody would have said, Shaul, are we supposed to be practicing Yang Style Taiji today? But there wasn't that prompt. And when I scheduled the class, I scheduled Yang Style Taiji on Monday. I did. I put that on the schedule. I put Yang Style Taiji on Tuesday. Part of it was just me. It just happened, you know? And part of it was, I think, that I was really focused on the work that I've been doing on my website, wudong.com, and surfacing some of the content that I'm creating here, as well as some of the things that have been created, that I've created over the years. So I was distracted. I also managed to get some changes made in my own schedule so that I'm starting class pretty much on time. Fingers crossed, keep that going. That also created an effect of difference. Something's different. And I just went with it. There's nothing I can say about it. It just happened. Alright, so we're going to practice Yang Style today. Okay? This is what it says on the label that I put up there. Yang Style Taiji. That's what we're going to practice today. We're going to be in part 2. And we'll get back to the original schedule that I had planned next week. I scheduled it this morning, so I know that I've got the right days. In a year and a half that I've been doing this is probably this is the first time that I've intended to do something and then did something else entirely. It just, and like I said, if this was an in-person, somebody would have stopped me. So, hey, teacher, wait, chill. Wait a minute. It happens. It happens. You don't do something for 20, 30, 40 years and not have things happen. Feet about shoulder width apart. Your stretches. Stand straight. Bend the knees a little bit. Open the arms. Hands start with the front. And back around to both sides. Up along the center line. Stretch out over the legs. And that was, I don't know if you could hear that, my hips just went snap, crackle, pop. And one more time. Elbows drop down, wrists, fingertips, hands return to your sides. Alright, we have, and I'm going to get a sip of coffee and I'm just going to talk about this briefly and then we're into practice. With my study of Yang Style Taiji, there were some warm-up sets that we did regularly at the beginning of class that were highly beneficial. I don't repeat them here. I've taught them, and I'm going to reintroduce them not on a regular basis, but not today, and not particularly today either, but I was thinking about it and I'm going to do that so that there is another recording of these basic sets. All right, and as I'm going through the recordings that I've already made, I will be pulling some of that out and putting it into the new video ebook format that I've got up on the website. It's free. It's free. It's free. So, at least right now. Okay. Yang Style Taiji, Part 1. Feet together, stand straight. Pull up through the crown head. Drop the shoulders. Open the back, open the chest, open the arms. Wiggle fingers, bend the knees. Everything should be open and relaxed. And I may give a lesson on this today. Let me think about that. Salute. Breathe in. And breathe out. And breathe in one more time. Shift the weight to the right. Open the left. Center. Raise the arms. And down. Shift left, open right. Step third. Grasp the bird's tail. Press. And push. Single lip. Raise your hands. White crane spreads its wings. Brush knee. Step up, hands come away. Brush knee. Again. One more time, hands from the loop. And brush knee. Look left downward. Parry. And punch. Shift back. Close the door. Turn. Keep going. Crossing hands. Turn. Brush knee. Grasp the bird's tail. Open. Push. Turn. Turn the toes. Push out. Turn the foot. Turn around. Fist under the elbow. Push back the monkey. Hold the ball. Diagonal flying. Shift back. Raise your hands. White crane spreads its wings. Brush knee. Step up. Needle at C bottom. Bend through the back. Turn. Hold fist. And chop. Flip left downward. And parry. And punch. Ward off left side. Step through. And turn. Press. Push. Single whip. Cloud hands. Turn to the front. Left hand comes across. 1, 2. One more time. 3. Set the foot. Single whip. Pull back. Turn. Step out. relax. Take a break for a second. As you can see from what I just did and what we're paying attention to, especially with the idea of repetition, we can see entire sections, entire segments that are repeated or are repeated in just a little bit different way. This is the same as what we did before, or this is almost the same. For example, when we turn around to, at the very beginning of part 2, we're here and we come around, brush knee. We've done brush knee multiple times in the form. The difference now is we're going in a different direction. We've turned around and we're going on, when we're on 45 instead of on a straight line. Okay? Same move, we're just putting it in a different place. This happens repeatedly in all of the Tai Chi forms. All of them. All of them. Okay? The foundations, the fundamentals, are usually in the first part and oftentimes in the first 10 moves of the system, right? The opening for Chen Style Tai Chi has the gorilla stomp, right? This is a characteristic use of strength and circulation of energy that belongs to Chen style. It's their flavor. Wudang style Tai Chi, we have alligator playing in the water. And the use of the waist combined with the directional changes in the lower dantian. There's movement there. Yes, there is. So as we work on Yang Style Tai Chi, we look at the fundamentals from the first part. That open, elegant movement that flows evenly. That even flow is one of the characteristics of Yang style. Larger shape compared to Wu style, most definitely. Even the small form Yang style has a larger shape than Wu style. But the fundamentals, at the beginning of Wu style, at the beginning of Chen style, at the beginning of Yang, they're all given. We need to pay attention to that. All right, now, because we reuse it. It's not because right now we're going to go back and redo the beginning and redo the beginning. The fundamentals for your practice are something that you carry through everything you do. If you don't have the fundamentals, nothing else will be correct. I'm serious. I've probably told this story before, but I'm going to tell it again this morning. This gentleman, 20 plus years ago, right? It's been a long time. Gentleman came, wanted to learn Wudang Style Tai Chi. I said, sure. He said, I've been studying this and this and this, and I said, fine, great. Means you'd be able to learn faster. As we started practice, I asked him about rooting, about the use of the internal connections, about how to connect the breath and the movement, his prior teaching. One there. the foundation that he needed wasn't there. Now, he'd been practicing for a while, but the foundation wasn't there. So the benefit that he might have obtained from his practice wasn't there. Okay? I'm stressing this a little bit this morning because as we're going back through some of the movements, and as I talked about previously, I'm moving a little bit more to some analysis and a little bit less toward that let's do a bunch of movements. We're going to go back and practice the second part. We're going to go through the second part again. And then I'm going to stop and take a couple of things apart, and we may be looking at a couple of new moves. Part 2, Yang Style. Crossing hands. Turn. Grasp the bird's tail. Press. And push. Turn. Press out. Circle. And 1, 2, 3. Hold the ball. Diagonal climb. White crane spreads its wings. Pushing. Step up. Knee lets see bottom. Step through. Fan through the back. Turn. Deflect down. Excuse me. Chop. 1, 2, 3. Deflect downward parry and punch. Ward off. Step through. And turn. Single whip. Alright, I'm going to stop there for a second. We're going to work on this a little bit more. This split left, split right, and open the leg, turn, it is on one leg. And no, I should not need to put my foot down. Alright? This series takes a bit of practice. It takes a bit of strength to bring the leg up and keep it there. Okay? And as I mentioned at the beginning this morning, I'm also doing some things internationally, and I've thought about my sense of time seems to be incorrect. How to sync, I don't know. Anyway, it's morning here. It really is, it's morning. Alright, as I was trying to say, I mentioned at the beginning of this class that I had planned to reintroduce some of the basic exercises that I learned when I had first started learning Yang Style Taiji. There is some leg work that we're doing now that would benefit from some additional work that I learned from dance, okay? So to bring the leg up and carry it around, I can bring it up and I can sweep it out, not a problem. At this, yeah, it'll go. I'm going to step back and I'll show you in a minute. But we don't do that. It comes up slowly and it extends, and we need to carry it around, and then we need to bring it down gently. Okay? I was able to do that quite effectively years ago because of my dance training. Now, if I had kept my practice at the same level, right? If I had never changed anything, if I had kept my practice at the same level, I would be able to do that today. I didn't. I changed. There's several things that I changed. And among them was paying more attention to using the waist and using the lower tongue in, which meant that I was going to be more rounded as opposed to being up. Now, I said, left leg, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do it hard, but I'm going to go, let me step over here. There we go. Alright, I'm not going to do this hard, but leg goes up, leg comes around, leg comes down. Alright, being able to do that slowly not quite the same level, okay? My leg doesn't come up as far. It will, not today. Alright, let's review this sequence. Since we're doing it, and I'm going to get a sip of coffee here. We're doing it. Alright. So, we're here, Yang Style, single whip. As I pull back, I start to come around. Circle, step, and out. Both hands up. Cross hands, open. Bring the leg around. It doesn't get down yet. You don't get to put it down just yet. I'm going to turn around and do this over here. Keep the leg up and keep going. Alright? This requires centering through the supporting leg. I've talked about this repeatedly. You've got to be centered over the supporting leg, otherwise if you're leaning, it ain't going to work. The effort to raise the leg comes from holding in the hip. So if I'm going to raise this leg, I need to hold this hip tight. This has to pull up so that the hip is open. This over here, this needs to be open. So this pulls up, this has to stay open. Right? Leg needs to be able to move over here. If this sits down, it gets stuck, it can't move. So the hip pulls up, and the leg has to turn out just a little bit. This is a dancer's terminology, but it's exactly what has to happen. The leg sits into the hip, right? If I want to bring my leg up this way, right? I have to do something to open that so that I can, right? This has to be open. The top of the leg Normally it's going to sit like this. All right, get my thumb out the way. Yeah, there we go. There we go. All right, yeah, that's good. There we go. Hip, leg. All right. Normally here, and I want to bring this up, and it's not going to want to go up. As I turn it, I turn the top of the leg so that it will move naturally. This is all natural movement. You can feel it. If you stand here, put your feet straight ahead. Pull up through the abs. Feel this pull up, like you've got a belt or something to support your ribs, and you just pull up the hip. Bend the knee just a little bit. You should feel the back of the hip open just a little bit. As you bend the knee, it's just a little bit. As you bend the knee, you should feel the leg open in the hip. Okay, keep this in, just doesn't move. Bend the knee. A little bit in the back, open the hip. All right, keep that open. Now, from the top, not from the foot, from the top, turn the leg. All right? This turns. Now, I have the top bone aligned with the opening in my hip so that I can bring the leg up. And this is how dancers do this, right? This is why we use turnout. This is why dancers learn to do this, right? First position, turn those legs out. It's not the feet, it's here. Because with that, the hip opens up and allows for that extension. Okay? It doesn't allow it if your leg's not strong enough, if your abs aren't strong enough, if your back's not strong enough to lift the leg up. But that's the key. All right, let's do this one more time. And I'm gonna do this one more time, and then I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna take apart this series just a little bit. Single whip, shift back, open, right leg, cross hands, come around, in, out to the left, and down. All right. This, we're going to turn around to the other side, but we're going to take this part right now. All right. As you pull back here, this leg needs to start getting ready. And this leg needs to be ready to set. This is my supporting leg. It's going to remain my supporting leg for the rest of this movement. Okay? So as I transfer my weight into that leg, I need to make sure that I'm in good alignment. No matter how fast or slow I'm moving, and I'm going to do this more slowly. Excuse me. Close to what it should be. Alright? There's a couple of places that I have a little bit of hesitancy still. Work on it. And there are quite a few places that I would really like you to make a note of, because the weight transfer and the way in which the transition was completed were all correct. The balance, I hit my balance, right? We'll do it again, because it's not enough to hit it once. It's got to be repeatable. Yeah? Alright. So, from single whip. Little more. This time, I had to pay a little bit more attention to my leg, but I'm okay with what I just did. This idea is, again, it just doesn't matter what you're practicing, that once you find that balance point, once you find that perfect slot, yeah, that's it. I hit it. I know that. Once you find that, you have to be able to find it again. You have to be able to go back and find it again. So knowing, that's part of the analysis part, knowing what you did, when you did it, how you did it, and what made the difference. Right? What made the difference? I will tell you exactly. The first time through, just now, I was focused on what I was doing. I was not really paying that much attention to the camera. I just paid attention to what I was doing. The second time, I was focused on making sure that I could do this again. Okay? I know I can do this again. I'm going to make sure I can do this. I know I can do this again. And I did it. But it wasn't as relaxed. It wasn't as fluid. This idea of what I'm thinking, what's in my mind, is something that I've talked about repeatedly in Qigong class, and I know I've talked about it in Tai Chi class. So what you have in mind affects what you do in your movement. It really does. And we want, in our practice, we want smooth, continuous, fluid, complete, elegant for Yang Style, pleasing. The movement should be pleasing to watch. It shouldn't be hard to watch. It shouldn't be difficult to watch. It shouldn't be a struggle. Right? Having more or less skill, it still shouldn't be a struggle to do whatever it is you're doing, right? That's one component, again, of all Tai Chi systems, of all of our practice. If you're struggling with it, there's something that you're doing that's incorrect. Maybe you don't have the strength yet. Maybe your alignment's off. Maybe you have an issue with your placement, right? A whole litany of things that I can think of. So your alignment's off, your foot could be off, your knee could be off, your ankle could be off, your shoulder could be off, all of these opportunities for something to not be quite right exist. As we practice, as we develop our skill, we develop the skill to know what's not quite right, to stop repeating it, and to know what is correct, and to be able to repeat that more. The more we repeat what's correct, the easier it is to not do what's not correct. Yes, there's a double negative there. I don't want to do this thing. No. I want to do this way. Right? The more we pay attention to that, the more we think about that. This is the way I want to do it. the more we analyze what we did wrong, what was not correct, what could have been better, and then put that into the I want to do this better practice, the better we get. If we only focus on the things that we did wrong, there's no opportunity to improve. Because all you're thinking about is I did this wrong, 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 I did this wrong. Well, I did this wrong. Why am I getting practice? What's the point? Right? No. I did this right and I did this wrong. And I did these 3 things right and I did this 1 thing wrong. How can I correct this 1 thing over here so instead of 3 things right, 1 thing wrong, I got 4 things right? That thought process gives us the ability to advance. We have to bring it somehow over to the positive. We have to be able to say, this is what I want. This is what I don't want alone isn't enough. And we can think about this in another way as well. We can think about this as yin and yang. Right? It's what I don't want, this is what I do want. Right? I have to have both. I want to cultivate the things that I want and develop what I don't want so that it can be something that I want. Let's practice again. All right, remember just with the leg, right? As the leg comes up, keep centered, open through the hip, okay? And if you keep your leg lower, that's fine, right? I'm not working at 45. I'm not working even at 45 right now. It's probably about 20 something here. All right, 90 to 120 is good. I used to be able to hit 120. It's easier to do 120 than it is 90. I'm tell you that. All right. As you bring the leg around, right? This comes out. Pay attention to the idea that this is a sweep outward. So don't let the foot dangle. Use it, right? Little tension in the ankle and turn the foot back just a little bit. The same as you would if you were going to turn. Okay, so my hands here, I could come out this way. I want to turn it just a little. That's what I'm going to do with my ankle. Just a little. As the foot comes around, point the toe to bring it in. And that same idea of sweeping outward, as it comes around to put it down. Make sure that you put the heel first. Single whip. Step back a little bit. Single whip. Shift. Circle. Bring the right leg up. Open. Everything goes together. Bring the foot in. Set the heel. Transfer through. Again, single whip. Shift. Sink. Turn. Open. Up. Open. Bring in. And out. I'm going to turn around and do this the other way. Single whip. Bring it in. Circle. Step out. Bring up the right. Open. Bring in. Step through. Okay. There is a necessary connection. We're going to do this one more time. Maybe two more. There is a necessary connection between the opening here and the opening in the leg. They're supposed to be together. Okay? So and I'm going to do this a little quickly. Right? Yeah, let me start here. A little too much of a drop there when I brought my leg in, but the idea that sweep and put it down is that's fundamentally where I'm going. With the leg. Alright? Now, does that take a little bit of work? Yes, it does. Alright? Does it require both the strength to bring the leg up and hold it there? Absolutely. Part of that strength comes from pushing up from underneath. It's not pull up here. This has to pull up. Don't get me wrong. This has to pull up and in. But the push to bring the leg up comes from underneath. The hold to keep the leg up comes from underneath. It does. We're going to work on that some more. Let's do this 3 more times as in the form. Let's do from the first single whip, cloud hands, single whip, and then separate the leg. Single whip, turn, cloud hands. And single whip, and pull back, turn, separate the legs. Alright, now I showed the next series. We're going to do this 2 more times. I showed the next series. We're not going to work on that today. I am going to show it after we get done. Single whip, turn, 2, 3, ready, and turn, shift back, and up, center, not center, oh, not center, and come around, and down. Alright. Being centered, just now, my hip was off. Set. And turn. Cloud hands. Single whip. Shift back. Open. Open, come around, and through. Alright, relax for a second. This coordinated, rhythmic type of movement is something that I particularly enjoy, actually, but it's also something that we actively use in practice. So, and I'm going to show the ending, but I'm going to talk about this for a second. The rhythm and the timing that I set should carry through the entire form. Okay? This practice methods. Hey. So if I practice more slowly, there's a benefit to be gained. If I practice more quickly, there's a benefit to be gained. I need to distinguish what I'm doing so that I know this is what I'm doing now and this is what I'm doing. So it's not muddled. Okay? That ability to practice in multiple manners, multiple ways. Okay? It really is the manner of practice, not the method or the way of practice. How am I going to practice today? I'm going to practice quickly. Am I going to practice slowly? Am I going to pay attention to balance? Am I going to pay attention to a particular mood? Am I going to pay attention to my internal work? Am I going to pay attention to keeping my focus, my mind and my spirit and my energy on what I'm doing in my practice? What am I paying attention to today? That ability to adjust the manner of practice gives us a breadth that we would not have otherwise. All right, one more time, and then I'm going to do the last part there. All right. Single whip. Get the legs ready. Open the back. Yeah? And turn. Single whip. I need to work on that. I need to work on that turn, so I'm going to have to put down. As we come back through, right? So I'm here. Bring it up. Separate. Not today, apparently. Oh yeah. There we go. Here, this has to come around on the heel of the supporting leg to step through and do brush knee as the other foot comes down. That turn is not as difficult as it will seem at first. It's more a matter of correct timing, correct use of force, and being able to turn the foot. We're going to work on it. Monday, next week, we're going to work on it. Not Tuesday, Monday. Thank you for being here with me. I appreciate it. I am so happy to be able to do this, and it gives me great joy to try and share some of this. So appreciate you being here with me. Thank you for the indulgence from yesterday. I'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Wudang Taichi Sword. Thursday and Friday, Wudang Qigong. And next week, Monday, Yang Style Taiji. Tuesday, Wudang Style Taiji. Thank you.